Hey brother. Oh my gosh, you guys, the day has finally come. Are you ready to find out who is Emma Jean? Okay, so some of you might be saying, I've never heard of Emma Jean. Is that someone I'm supposed to be wondering about? Yes, longtime viewers will know this is a mystery we have been pulling threads on for a while. But if you're new to this question, here's a little background. In the movies Up and Toy Story 3 appear a postcard. This postcard. Most people who are familiar with the postcard are familiar with it as it appears in Toy Story 3 on Andy's bulletin board, where most of the message is blocked, but you can read the names Carl and Ellie on it. Carl and Ellie are the husband and wife in Up who star in the saddest 10 minutes of any movie opening ever. So, most people conclude that Carl and Ellie sent Andy a postcard. But this is inaccurate. The postcard is actually addressed to Carl and Ellie, as you can see here, and sent from someone named Emma Jean. This postcard has been driving us at SuperCarlinBrothers crazy for a while now, and is possibly one of the most mystery-ridden Easter eggs in the entire Pixar universe. The postcard has actually inspired a bunch of fan theories, like, is Carl crazy? Wait, crazy? You can tell that just from the postcard? We made a whole video about it here. Believe me, it's more believable than you think. Why does Andy end up with the postcard? What state is PD? And most importantly, who is Emma Jean? I don't know why Andy ends up with the postcard, but PD, I think we have cracked. The director of Up is none other than Pete Docter, or PD, whose hometown just happens to be Bloomington. So, boom, one line of the address cracked. As for Emma Jean, well, there's really not a whole lot to go on, but here are a couple of the theories we've come up with in the past. First, maybe Emma is just short for Emily, as in Emily, the former owner of Jessie in Toy Story 2. If you're familiar with Andy's mom theory, that would mean that Emma is actually Andy's mom. This kind of makes sense for Andy eventually owning the postcard, the idea being that Carl and Ellie were friends with the Davises, and after they passed away, Andy pinned up the postcard sent from his mom to Carl and Ellie as a memento. It's not bad, it just relies on a lot of maybes. The next theory is that Ellie from Up, Emily from Toy Story, and Emma from both are actually all three sisters, and their parents named all three of their daughters with names that started with the same letter. E. I like the idea of the names all sounding similar because it's not a super uncommon practice for parents, and in this scenario that would mean that Emma Jean and Ellie are actually Andy's aunts. But then it begs the question, why does Andy have on his bulletin board a postcard from one aunt to another? The other massive problem with this theory is the age difference it presents between Ellie and her younger sibling Emily, who would be Andy's mom in this situation. Ellie appears to be retired, whereas Emily is in her mid-40s-ish. It's not impossible, but it's really far. But that's enough background, because those two theories are wrong. As many of you know, I recently had an opportunity to sit down with Pete Docter, the director of Up, whose initials appear on the postcard, and I asked him to clear this up for me. I have one final question. Okay. I think maybe you're the only person who can answer it. In Toy Story 3 and Up, there's a postcard that appears, and on it, it is sent to Carl and Ellie, and it is signed from a girl named Emma Jean in both movies. Who is Emma Jean?
Wait a minute, where is this?
It is in Toy Story 3 and in Up.
Emma Jean was a relationship that Carl had before his wife.
Oh my goodness.
And there was a little tension there because there's some jealousy but it turned out fine. Emma Jean and Ellie became good friends. They go shopping together, back in the 50s, some of the malls downtown, so it was all good.
Emma Jean was Carl's other love interest? Okay, let's break down what this means. First of all, as of this video going live, we, the Super Carlin Brother community, have officially added to the lore of Up and the backstory of Carl via the mouth of the director, Pete Docter himself. Second, and maybe I just sort of glossed over this, but Carl had a second love interest? This just adds so many levels to that opening scene with Carl and Ellie. I mean, we, the audience, are only shown them being the most adorable, happiest couple ever, who nothing ever really goes wrong for. Well, except the whole not being able to have a baby thing. and Carl breaks his leg, and a tree falls on their house. But the point is, we see them time and time again sacrifice their personal desires for the benefit and stability of their relationship. From our perspective, it looks like their whole relationship just revolves around each other, and that the success of their relationship is just a given. It becomes easy to cast aside that Carl and Ellie must have had other friends and family that they spent time with outside of each other. It kind of reminds me of that moment when you realize that your parents had lives before you were born, like they went out and did fun and interesting things together and you didn't even exist yet. It's adorable to believe they met as kids and just got married and everything went perfectly. That growing up, they wouldn't have experimented with any other romantic relationships with girls named Emma Jean, but they did. And now, thanks to the Super Carlin Brother community, we can tell that story to the world. So I encourage you, go to Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Tumblr and tell this story. Let the world know that Carl had a second love interest and that girl eventually became Ellie's best friend. Well done, everyone. I am extremely proud of us for solving this mystery. Ben, my question for you and everybody else is, 1, what was your reaction to this news? And 2, what other mysteries should we tackle next? Let me know down in the towel section below, and I will see you in another life, brother.
These socks are amazing!
Hey guys, thanks for watching as always. If you haven't yet, please leave a like on this video. Really helps us out and is an easy way to support the channel. And before I go, I need to give a massive thank you to MoviePilot.com for sending me out to San Francisco a couple of weeks ago to meet some of these people from Inside Out and to preview a little bit of The Good Dinosaur. Have a lot of really great content coming down the pipes for you guys. I am super excited about it. If you're not familiar with MoviePilot.com, they do lots of movie and TV stuff. There's great entertainment news on there, lots of different fan theories like you might see on this channel, lots of like fan art and stuff like that. Really easy to just get lost on the site. I'll leave a link down to my personal profile page on MoviePilot. You can read some of my articles, but I recommend you head back over to the homepage and just see if something interests you, because something will and you'll just get lost on that site. I love it. Thanks again, MoviePilot.com. You directed Monsters, Inc. And you directed Inside Out. Does Riley have a monster?